We're live. It says on the screen to us as it does the countdown. So, welcome to the IT Hour. Happy Friday. We're almost exactly halfway through the month of September. So, wow. Next Friday will be the 20th. It's too bad it won't be the 21st because then I could play Earth, Wind, and Fire because it would be the 21st of September. Anyone? Anyone? Y'all are too young. I swear. Okay. Anyway, wait,
Sorry.
wait till Kelly gets here, and then she'll back me up. Um, if you're new to the IT Hour, hi, I'm Becky Scott, head of community and references at JumpCloud. We've got several awesome product and designer folks here. You may recognize some of the faces. Oh, good. Kelly Welsh says you can always play Earth, Wind, and Fire. Whew, now I don't feel so bad with all the blank faces staring back at me like, what? Go look up September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
They're
You'll
timeless. My
Found
recognize
it.
kids love them. My
you'll
kids
recognize
love
the
them.
horns. It's a great song. You have to play it on September 21st. Do you remember the 21st of September? That's why
For
we
me,
play it.
it's International Mean Girls Day, which is October 3rd, which is when Aaron Samuels asked Katie Heron what day it is, and it's October 3rd.
Ah, I see. Well, also don't forget that the 19th is Talk Like a Pirate Day. So you have to go around saying, Yar, matey, and shiver me timbers and all that good stuff. So beware next Thursday. You get lots of messages like that. I mean, I don't actually walk around with an eye patch, but it's tempting. My kids would just look at me and say, stop, just stop. So anyway, um, anything fun this weekend from y'all?
Not particularly. I'm going to an event where my friend is speaking, and there's going to be some celebrities, some Bollywood celebrities there apparently. So we'll see. I may get killed in a stampede, but I'll keep y'all posted.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. Hopefully you'll actually be able to update us, which means you didn't get killed in a stampede. So, welcome back, by the way, Urvashi. It's good to have you on here again. It's been a while.
Thank you. It's good to be back. And I'm fully back into my co-host mode, so please shut me up whenever you need to. Otherwise, I won't stop.
And Rob and Isaac, welcome back as well. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Isaac, I'm loving I see plants and paintings and everything in the background. I know you've got it blurred, so it's not distracting, but I like it. I like
Yes,
it.
good amount of foliage in here.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
jealous. I need to move my camera because I have plants, but instead I have this this little old lady pillow behind me. My wife put it there. I don't know why, but there's a pillow. So I have plants too.
Did you
So,
just call your wife old lady?
I mean, she likes old lady pillows. So,
You
get
just
between
need
a
some
Colombian woman and her pillows. I just have like 20 of them, and this is only half of them for this room. I had to get rid of all the rest. So,
you just need like some colorful paintings or pictures or something on the wall. You'll be good.
I'll just get my kids some markers. And that'll go real well.
And
By the
funny
way,
enough,
washable is not that washable off of walls. I hate to break it to people. Crayola, you got some
no.
explaining to do.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of paint you have on the wall. I had some more satiny paint on the last place we lived, and most of the washable crayons were okay, but purple was not. It would just smear around and make a nice purple
Mm.
smudge on the wall. I have pictures of that somewhere because I was like, this is not working the way I thought it would. But it was like a almost a glossy paint, and it just would push it around. So don't do that.
This is exactly what happens with like software testing. You test like 4 out of the 5 colors, everything wipes off fine. It's good. It's good to go. Can be sold. And then there's one person who comes back and says it was just the purple, and that's how bugs
Mhm.
come up.
Yeah. But once I finally actually we rented here first and then we bought it. So once it was officially ours, I actually told my kids, go go draw on the walls in your bedroom. I don't care. We can always paint over it. So they had a lot of fun with that. Now I know Sharpie is actually hard to paint over, but that's okay. We can deal with it. All right. Rob says pillows and plants don't last long in his place because his rats will chew a hole in a pillow. And he says he won't get into what they do to basil. So
So now I just know I need to get rats, and I'll take care of my pillow problem at home. I might have a rat problem after that, but at least I won't have a pillow problem.
I think your wife will have words with you if you do that.
Maybe, maybe.
I have words with my cats when they mess up my pillows. I've got these ones that are kind of like yarn, have lots of yarn on them, and they will start to pull at it and then big holes. So yes, I regularly have words with them on that. Speaking of, Sally has
Hello,
joined us.
kitty. Hi,
All
Sally.
right. Yeah, she's purring. All right, with that, let's see what we have today. The usual things. Quick things on the community update today. Last week we were talking about Kringles. Who knows how we got on that topic? I actually don't remember, but Danish Kringles from Wisconsin, because we were talking about Wisconsin, and then Trader Joe's. I have to make a correction because OH is the correct place in Racine. I don't know if Keith's on here yet, but I put it in the IT hour in Slack, but I wanted to put that here too because they are the best. If you have a Trader Joe's near you at Thanksgiving and Easter, they will have them there. But if you want to get like all kinds of variety of them, that's the place. There you go, Ricky. Hit Trader Joe's, but I don't think they will have them quite yet. I think you have to wait till closer to Thanksgiving. But the other thing is, I cannot, I can't remember if we mentioned the Make Work Happen podcast launching when it first launched. We may have, but I haven't mentioned it since. But a little promotion about what else we're doing here. We started a new podcast. We've got 2 episodes out and one more coming next Tuesday. We do every other week, we do a new episode. And I'm really excited to be hosting that. It's a lot of fun. And I hope you all go check that out. I'll put the link in there because this is a new endeavor where we're talking to IT execs about how they make work happen and what they do to enable their business. So a lot of fun. And I see we've definitely started the Trader Joe's topic in the chat. So I may have accidentally started something. But I swear, speaking of Trader Joe's, it doesn't matter where they put one in, the parking is always bad. Like it's always a small crowded parking lot. I don't know why they do that, but they never have a giant parking lot with lots of space and everything. I think it's impossible for them to do that, or maybe it just creates demand. I don't know. Maybe it's a Eric says bad parking is a design requirement. It feels like it, Eric. I don't know, maybe because it's like, oh, it's so busy, it must be a place I need to go to and stuff like that. So anyway, other than that, product releases and announcements. I know we're going to talk in a second about device list enhancements, but if you haven't seen Sergi's post in the community, getting ready for Apple major OS releases. He posted this nice long post in the community. We've been testing with Apple devices to verify compatibility, went through all these evaluations, and Mac OS 15 Sequoia and iOS and iPad OS 18. We've been testing the Agent, Jump Cloud Protect, Password Manager, and Jump Cloud Mobile Admin app, and they've all been tested and evaluated against both of those updates, and they are ready for these major releases. So super excited that those are ready to go. I'm putting a link to his post in the chat because there's a lot of good enhancements to go over and take a look at. And I'm going to ping him and see when he wants to come on and talk more in depth about those. So more to come there. That is it for my updates. I'm going to let y'all start talking about Device List. Tell us what we got.
Alrighty. Well, hello, everybody. Again, those of you guys who have not seen me before, I'm Rob. I'm a product manager here on the platform experience team. And our team has been focusing on a lot of the efficiency gains and then UI enhancements and just usability enhancements inside the Jump Cloud platform, because we have a ton of features, but getting those tons of features to work in concert with each other as a true platform experience is kind of an art in and of itself. So we are a team dedicated to really optimizing. So in the past, we worked on MTP-related features. We've added little enhancements like an actions button on the device list to let you achieve, ad hoc commands and run commands right at the device list without going into them. That's the kind of stuff that we take care of. And today, I'm happy to have my team here to discuss enhancements that are coming to one of the busiest parts of the platform, which is the device list. So the device list, and I don't have any screen share, so I'll just be waving my hands around like a crazy person. But there will be a screen share coming up in a second. But basically, we've heard loud and clear feedback on the list itself of that. As you guys may or may not remember, we used to have the aside, like the device page used to be just an aside that would pop out to the side, and we'd converted that to a full page. So that was a big undertaking to really add some enhancements there and also set the stage for future improvements that can be done. But we're now taking aim at the device list. And we would hear all kinds of feedback because obviously that is probably the most important place that many admins go there. It was a huge chunk of the traffic inside the admin portal. But we would hear items come up like, oh, I would love to see more than 9 columns. You guys have these gigantic, like, curved 8K displays, and you can only see 9 columns and a ton of white space. Yeah, you'd love to be able to see a little bit more stuff on there. You wanted to be able to see data that isn't necessarily right there at the surface. You'd want to be able to surface a little bit more there. Filtering, I'll be nice, as it left some things to be desired at the current state for that. So with all of those, the feedback was loud and clear. It's like we need to use this device list. It's an extremely important section of the admin portal for us, and we would love for you guys to enhance it. Now, by the way, the way we heard that was through the idea submission. And every time I come on IT Hour, I always pedal the submit an idea button, because that is the number one way for you to tell us the complaints and for us to actually analyze it and jump on calls with you guys and really take it very seriously and start making product changes. So today I'm pleased to bring on Isaac, who is our brilliant UX designer who put a lot of work in this as well, and my good friend Urvashi, who is really taking the mantle on the product side of this, and that's why we stole her away from you guys on a weekly basis. But she's killing it on the product side, really helping us deliver awesome features for this. And this will be, sorry, Becky, but this will be an amazing, first kind of step in this way, because we want to make sure we're listening to you and delivering something that's helpful for you in your everyday life and getting your jobs done. So without further ado, I want to show this up. Now, this is currently an EA. If you guys are interested in getting a part of EA, please reach out. We'll put our emails in the chat, and absolutely reach out to us, and we'll get this started for you. And you guys can kick the tires and see how you like it. So,
Isaac? This crowd loves EA.
Oh, I know. I got the emails. So yeah, Urvashi will help take care of that for you guys. Well, go ahead, Isaac. Take it away.
Alrighty. Let me know once you can see my screen.
You're good. We can see it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to take you through what's in EA right now, and then we will hop into what's coming later via prototype. So first piece here, updated device list. And without clicking on anything, you can probably see a bunch of updates here. So we spent a lot of time looking at just the table component itself. And we really wanted to stress better navigation, better comprehension of the list itself, and being able to see more data. So what you can see initially is smaller row heights, alternating colors. And so what that's going to do is help you really look at this data and see more of your data at once. And with that, we introduced this new approach of having fixed columns. So you can now scroll right to left, and your device name is going to stay there while you view whatever data you're looking at. So there's a lot of our newer components here. It's our Stratus design system. So you probably see some of these buttons and inputs and search bars and everything across the product. And we're starting to scale this to list views, like the devices right now. So I'll show off a few different features here. First, we can edit our columns now and select many more than what you can do today. So we heard loud and clear, we want more data and we want to see more of it at once. So we can go in here and add different columns. So maybe I want to add Jump Cloud System ID. I want to add created date, and those now appear over here on the left side. So I can take this drag handle here and rearrange the order to whatever I please and move it around. And this will take effect on the screen behind it. And then you can also fix up to 3 columns. So if I wanted to move maybe operating system up here, I can do that. And it's now going to be a fixed column as I scroll right to left. I'll move that back down just for the sake of the demo. I'll apply those columns and they'll update here. So now I can see much more information than what we can currently with the list view. And so you can add as many columns as you want. There's no limit there. We've also done some work with filters. So I can go in here and add, these are many of the filters that exist today, but we're going to actually add in some new filters as well in the form of advanced filters. And I'll show that in a prototype in a minute. But if I'd like, I can select maybe just my iOS devices. And I'll apply that filter. And now that shows up here in the tab bar or the toolbar. So obviously this is just sorting through my iOS devices. And one good thing that we're adding in here now is keeping your filters and your search when you navigate away from this page and back to it. So if I click into this device and maybe I'm doing some work here, viewing this iPhone, and then I want to go back and view the rest of my iOS devices, that filter is going to remain there. And so I can continue going through this list that I filtered. So I'll remove that for now and wanted to show exporting. So we heard loud and clear that people don't want to export everything that they're seeing that we have. So sometimes people want to export everything, but a lot of times people want to export just what they're seeing right now. So you can take those filters, those searches, those columns that you set up and only export those via the current view. And you can do that via a CSV or a JSON file. And if you'd like, you can still export all of the data. Next, I'll quickly show a bulk action. So we're going to be adding a few more actions here to the menu, one of which is adding to a device group. So you can now select devices that you want, and you can either add those to an existing device group or create a new static device group from that selection. Enter a name and a description there, and it'll create a device group for you. So those are all of our updates that are currently in EA. So please let us know if you want to check those out. And then I'm going to show what's coming next, which is a lot of cool additional info. So I'll share a different tab here. I think we have moved over to the prototype view. So this, I will go through a hypothetical scenario here where I'm adding a bunch of filters. And so I'm going to go in, I'm going to add Windows. I'm going to say it's not encrypted. I'm going to say it is enrolled with JumpCloud MDM. And then we're going to look at our advanced filters here. So this is what will be coming to that filters that I showed you in production. And you can then search through this list of new filters. So things like date created, what's in the description of the device, deep or operating system details, and a whole suite of different filters that you can add here. So I'm going to first start by adding last contact. So this was the last time that the JumpCloud agent checked in, and we can maybe specify a specific date here, that it was before or after, or we can say it's greater than or less than a certain time frame. So I'm going to say it's greater than 7 days ago, and you can configure this as you please. And so now we're looking at devices that haven't checked in over a week. And maybe I also want to add a separate filter as description. So we're looking at description. You could say contains or doesn't contain a certain string. So we're going to look at laptops here. So I just type that in, shows up as laptops. So now we have 5 different filters applying. And as we apply, they show up in the toolbar again on the top. Filters are list down. And we can then see the rest of the filters there. And we could remove them one by one if we'd like. We could clear all, but that is then filtering the list on more data than what you can do today. So that's the first piece. And then the next thing I want to show is what you can do with those filters after. So you don't have to apply them again. We have this new concept of saving a view. So let's say I go in, apply those filters again, and they show up in my toolbar. Obviously here's not real data, but I might want to save that view. So I'll click here, Save View. And what I can do then is name the view. I can see what filters I've applied, and then I can share it with my coworkers so that they can also access this list. And if you'd like, you could set it as your default view. So every time you navigate back to the devices table, that's where you start at. So if you have a certain view or a certain list of columns and filters that you like to always look at, or maybe it's just columns, you can do that. And so we'll save that. That is now a view that is set up with certain filters and columns. Just going back to the start. So let's say you log in a few days later, come to your device page, and you want to access a view. You'll use this drop down on the left here to select either a saved view. So these are the ones you've already created, or a quick view. These are JumpCloud created as a starting point for you guys to jump off, apply some filters that we think a lot of customers will need, and then you can use that from there. So I could apply a quick view that will trim down the list and give you guys a really good starting point. So that's what we have coming. If there's any questions, I can answer them. But it looks like some excitement in the chat.
I'll also add to this, and Isaac, thank you very much. That was a great demo, and also great work on designing this and getting this off the ground. There's a lot of moving parts with this to make sure this was coherent and also, more importantly, scalable. Because spoiler alert, we want to use this table moving forward. So other tables on in the JumpCloud admin portal, your days are numbered, suckers, because we want to come for you next. So in addition to that, the data that is being filtered and displayed in this table is just the beginning. On the back end, we want to be able to surface more important data. Like the next highest request would be things like SI data, getting that into the view here, where like you could start seeing like vendor or like device vendor or something like that on the device table, or items beyond it that are just below the surface that are not really technically supportable either via the API for API reasons or database reasons, all the reasons you don't care about, but we care about on the product side. We want to bubble up for you guys. So keep the feature requests coming in. We're happy to see them. We're happy to talk with you guys and schedule calls. It does happen, and we'll definitely reach out to you, and we will be activating EA for all the people that are showing interest in this. But this is just the beginning, and we're super excited to see how this is going to be used, not only in this device list, but also in other parts of the platform, and to just make it an awesome experience. And yeah, just really happy. And thank you, Isaac and Urvashi, with your awesome work with this.
And of course, some of our MSPs want to know, will this view work across all devices in the MTP?
So if this is specifically about the device table on the MTP, that would be, we'd have to update that. This was essentially getting that a new table component that could be reusable. So we basically made like the UI that can be reused readily a lot more quickly. So that would definitely be something that we could do. It would not be part of this initiative, unfortunately, in this scope of the work. But what this does is it makes it a lot easier to do that again moving forward. So put a request in there, and I can definitely we'll have you in the loop, and you can track the progress of that as we associate it internally. But good question, Kelly.
And I see another Kelly saying that they also want to be in the EA. And of course, make sure you please email Urvashi so that she can add you to the list. And of course, I'm putting the typical feature request link in the chat because I know Kelly already knows how to go get to the feature requests. But anyone else who has something similar, Ricky, that means you need to put that in as well, because the more the merrier. But anyone else who doesn't know how to find that link, that'll take you over to the page to find that link. Yes, Kelly, I know you have that feature request on speed dial. I know a lot of you do, and we love that. So please keep putting those in. It helps us. The more people that put those in and work together to put them in, the more we are able to prioritize and, possibly get those in there for you. So let's see. Kamar says, nice to have on-device action to have option to bind device to applications on the software management table. So good to hear that too. We always like having feedback on what is working, as well as maybe what's maybe not working quite so well, so we can make improvements. Let's see, did I miss any other questions? Because I know you've been watching the chat pretty closely.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. But question to Kemar. Hang on. Wait, right now we can add to device room. Are you saying you'd like to have the ability to add to like an application from the table, bulk actions? Did
What
I
I'm
miss
guessing is
something?
maybe select an app and then have an actions button there and bind it to a device, or maybe multi-select the apps. I could
Got it.
totally see that. That would be pretty sick to have. But
Yeah.
hey, the good
Yeah.
thing is, as you see, the component we have like this. This is designed to be able to have that multi-select and the actions button in the top right corner, and also the table supports the actions button. So this is extremely expandable, and that was the number one goal. Is like doing this work, we could reuse it for other parts of the platform. So yeah, super pumped, and keep them coming in. Kmart, if
Yeah.
you definitely have that, put a feature request in. I'm going to be that annoying guy. Put it in because we do read them, and we'll associate that to that, and you'll get email updates when it starts getting under work and all that stuff. So
I love that y'all are thinking about extensibility here when you're putting in these improvements. So thinking about how they'll work in the future, how they can apply to other parts of the product and things like that. I think that's super important so that you're not adding technical debt into the platform as you go along. And I really love that forward thinking. So I think that's pretty awesome there. Okay, so Kimar says we have so many apps in software management to deploy in devices group, but can't multiple select through the device page.
definitely hear that.
Okay.
I'd love to, if we could chat with you, Kmart, that'd be amazing to have kind of like a real life case to actually kind of see what your pain would be. So love to chat with you more if we can get we can arrange a call for that.
Yep. And I bet Urvashi can help make that happen. Yeah. So email
In case
Urvashi.
everyone's wondering why there's two PMs on this, basically the device list enhancements it's Rob and Isaac's baby, and I am the babysitter who has come in because Rob has moved on to more complicated things. So I'm babysitter turned new adopted parent. So that's the
Don't
context.
undersell yourself. This is plenty complex.
No.
This is plenty complex. And yeah, definitely don't undersell yourself. You're kicking butt with it. And we're a team. We're a team.
But yeah, that is why there are two PMs on this call about this one feature and why Rob is talking, but you're emailing me. Just wanted to let y'all know.
Hey, it takes teamwork to do stuff like this. And plus you're really great at organizing things. So you're familiar with the community folks, and being able to grab all the names to get them in the EA is super helpful. Last week when I mentioned a different EA, I had, I don't know, 6 or 7 people email me, which is awesome. So I hope you get a lot of names too. And that was just from a casual mention because it had already been open a couple of weeks, I think, but we hadn't made that announcement because we hadn't had the show for a couple of weeks. So yeah, I hope you get lots of people wanting to be involved with that. All right. Any other questions or comments? All right. We will move on to the news. Urvashi, I expect lots of commentary from you, going back to the...
Yeah.
going back to the
I've
good old
slipped right
days.
back in. Completely slipped
All
back
right.
into my previous role.
All right. So one of the first headlines that caught my eye, because I knew I wanted to talk about the Make Work Happen podcast today. Google is trying to take my job away from me, and it's using AI to make fake podcasts from your notes. I saw this on The Verge. So their Notebook LM app can generate lively audio discussions with 2 AI hosts about documents you've given it. So they are creating these AI generated podcasts complete with hosts that can discuss what you've given it. It's an experimental feature, lives within Notebook LM that Google launched last year. It will summarize your material, make connections between topics, and banter back and forth. So it's supposed to help you interact with all your notes, transcripts, and other research documents. And this is just an audio version of Gemini AI model to help summarize research. So apparently this writer had played with it, and they said it really does banter back and forth. They plugged in one of the sample notebooks about invention of the light bulb. And apparently during the overview, the 2 hosts had a lighthearted conversation about how Thomas Edison wasn't the only person behind the light bulb. And that in the end, it's actually a story about teamwork making the dream work.
Oh my God, no. It learned all the jargons.
Yeah, it said it also emphasized BAM when tossing it in the middle of a sentence, and used modern phrasing like messy as heck. Although it also said it called platinum bling bling metal.
So no. Cringe.
Yeah.
But I will say, it can't be worse than some of the podcasts that exist today.
Present company excluded. Excuse me.
Of course.
No.
Of course. Have you seen those like parodies of podcasts where it's like an all women's podcast is basically going to be like this, right? Where one woman says, and then I realized the power was within me all along. And all the other people on the podcast are like, yes, queen, yes. And then all male podcasts are basically like, one guy's like, and then I realized I could actually wash my sheets more than once a year. Just mind blown. So, given the current state of affairs, I'm not opposed to this AI podcast.
Yes, but they have to get rid of the bling bling metal. And
Oh my
and it
God. I'm
also
looking at
said
my
spelling out some phrases like PLUS. It's like
what?
plus what? Yeah.
I'm looking at my notes app right now to see what this AI podcast would come up with. It includes organize small appliances, buy grocery list items, easy plants that don't need too much care, and my friend's mailing address. So I would be curious to see what it would do with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been meaning to start one. Yeah, Rob, primary lame usage of sounds plus. So I guess phrases and certain words, it's just weird. But I could have some fun with it because there are some things I've been thinking about starting up around certain topics that I tend to, like I've got a lot of things in my head around it and I keep thinking, "Oh, I should do that," but then I never get around to it because it takes a lot of time. Maybe I should just give it some samples of my voice and then actually there is a software that if you give it enough samples of your voice, it can create an AI version of you. Descript does that if you give it enough of your voice, it will help you
There was
make
a
one with
Black
your
Mirror
voice.
episode about this.
Could be.
Cool. No, there definitely was one about this woman who loses her spouse, and the rest of the episode is how like there's a service that aggregates all of their voice clips from and like reads their tweets and stuff across their entire internet presence and like creates this bot that can like talk to you and chat with you as the person that you lost. And she becomes so obsessed with it that she keeps like spending money on it. And then it goes from like a chat bot to like this whatever humanoid robot, and then it's really bleak. And it's good to know that it's real now.
Yeah, Kelly says hardest of passes. Yeah. I mean, listening to recordings is one thing, because I have recordings of my granny that there's very few of them, but yeah, once in a great while, it's kind of nice to go back. I like Kelly's version of the podcast. I discovered that the organization of small appliances was within me all along.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
tell him, sis, tell him.
Oh my goodness. Westworld too, I guess that was in there. So okay, now
I mean,
here's
Isaac, you
something.
can
Go ahead.
go.
No, go ahead.
I was just I was saying Isaac can contribute also. He just doesn't have to just listen to us.
Oh yeah. Please jump in with your funny thoughts. This is not exclusive to us. I mean, by all means, the sarcasm, it can be shared. Now, here's something cool that I've
Yeah.
been that I've been hearing about. So we know that Apple has been planning to have AirPods act as a hearing aid, uh, but they needed approval. Well, the FDA has actually cleared that hurdle for them. So FDA did this, actually, I guess yesterday. U.S. Food and Drug Administration gave Apple the thumbs up, saying it authorized AirPods Pro to work as a hearing aid software device. So I think it said this is the first OTC hearing aid solution implemented as a software feature for an existing product. And it's, even though it's, about $250, that's still pretty cheap when you consider other over-the-counter hearing aids. Let's see. Apple did a clinical study with 118 subjects who described mild to moderate hearing loss. And FDA said the results demonstrated that subjects who used the HAF self-fitting strategy achieved similar perceived benefit as subjects who received professional fitting of the same device. The study noted that it did not find any adverse effects for users who tried out the new AirPods software. So this will arrive in an update sometime this fall. It's meant to help those with mild to moderate hearing impairments, but it won't be, super helpful to those with severe auditory issues. So for those of us who have, like maybe mild hearing loss due to being at a few too many loud concerts when we were in our teens and 20s, it might be helpful, because I know I'm starting to, in certain sound ranges, I'm starting to have to ask, huh? It's mild, because there are still certain ranges where I can hear really well, but that mid-range of certain voices, if they're speaking softly or there's a lot of background noise, I have to, like, what?
That's pretty
So
cool
who
though that
knows?
they did that. I will
Yeah.
say though, when I first heard Apple and FDA, I thought that they were starting to sell actual apples, and I was like, what? And then when I heard the AirPods, I was like, are AirPods gonna be edible now? And then I realized that we were talking about hearing aids and not actual things to eat. Oh my
Actually,
God, magic.
I what's funny is, I make doubly sure I have, something to protect my ears at concerts, because 'cause I'm actually even more sensitive to that now than I was, especially when I wear my Apple Watch and it starts tapping me saying, "This is above the safe threshold for your ears," because I have that turned on to where it'll say, "This is over 90 decibels, this is gonna damage your hearing." I'm like, "Oh, well, yeah." Mm,
If I turned that on living in India, it would never turn off. Just constant traffic and honking and activity.
mhm.
I feel like
Well,
you're
okay,
doomed.
not sponsored by Loops, but a friend told me about Loops, and I got the pair where you can dampen sound, or you can block it out more thoroughly depending on whether you put the insert in, and they have been amazing, because if I just wanna, like, lighten things a little bit, like people are talking too loud or there's a movie that's just, because movies have gotten so much louder. So I can just, like, chill it out a little bit at a coffee shop or something, or if I really wanna protect at a concert, instead of shoving those foam things in my ears, I could just use this instead, and it's much better.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting those loops also because I get like auditory overwhelm when I'm in like a
Mhm.
crowded place that I didn't expect to be. Like I have to prepare myself ahead of time that I'm going somewhere crowded. And if I haven't, I'm just like, gotta leave. So I've been thinking about getting them. So this is good feedback, y'all. I
Yeah,
think
and
I'm gonna finally do it.
Ross says they're great, although their cases are way too small. Yes, this is my second pair because I lost the first pair, um, out of my pocket. Of course, that may have something to do with women's pants and how small their pockets are, and that's a rant for another day. I think we've had that rant before on here about
But
women's
hey, at least
clothing,
we finally have something that can fit in our pockets now.
except when you sit down and then it boop pops back out, because that's how I lost them.
Oh, sadness.
So Kelly says, great feature of earpiece earplugs. A set is 3 of them because you will lose one at some point, and they have a clip. Yeah, Loops has a little tiny loop on the outside of the case. So if you wanted to have it like on your keys, you could. Um, I carry my car key most of the time, but not all the time. So that's why I don't have it stuck on there, because I may not, but I can stick it inside of my little um wallet slash mini handbag clutch, because I do carry that. And Eric is saying eargasm earplugs for concerts. Nice aluminum case as well. Really
I'm
good.
literally looking at the website right now.
And
There's
aftershocks
so many
are
options.
awesome for outdoor activities. Yeah, if you need to be able to hear what's going on around you. I've heard that bone conduction are the way are the way to go for stuff like that. Definitely want to be aware of your surroundings when you're out and about. All right, so let's see. I don't know if you've heard about Fortinet, but they had a customer data breach I guess just yesterday, they disclosed a breach involving customer data. There was a threat actor who claimed on a known cybercrime forum that they had stolen 440 gigabytes of customer files, and says it was a limited number of files stored on a third-party shared cloud drive belonging to the company, but it only included data belonging to less than 0.3% of its customers, and the incident did not involve any data encryption, deployment of ransomware, or access to Fortinet's corporate network. Let's see, in their most recent full year earnings, they said they have well over 500,000 customers, suggesting the data breach may affect at least 1,500 corporate customers of Fortinet. So I guess that's a small amount, but 440 gigabytes is not tiny.
Kelly's comment needs to be on the screen.
Today I learned Fortinet had 440 gigabytes worth of customers.
What if it's just 4 customers and that's just like their entire lifetime's data? That's even worse.
Yeah.
I think.
I guess based on the most recent full year earnings, they have well over 500,000 customers. So don't know how big those customers are, but that's what they say on their most recent earnings. Ton of data. Well, no, Kelly, that's only 440 gigabytes worth. I don't think that weighs that much. But ching.
I was just unmuting to do but
all right. If you use Acrobat Reader, Adobe has fixed a 0-day. So a cybersecurity researcher is urging users to upgrade Acrobat Reader after a fix was released yesterday for a remote code execution 0-day with a public in the wild proof of concept exploit. This is CVE 2024-41869 and is a critical use after free vulnerability that could lead to remote code execution when opening a specifically crafted PDF document. A use after free bug is when a program tries to access data in a memory location that has already been freed or released. This causes unexpected behavior, such as a program crashing or freezing. However, if a threat actor is able to store malicious code in that memory location and the program subsequently accesses it, it could be used to execute malicious code on the targeted device. It has now been fixed in the latest Adobe Acrobat Reader and Acrobat versions. So go forth and patch. Rob says, yeah, they fixed a 0-day, but they still have the negative days open. Kelly says, obliterate Reader from orbit swiftly and without mercy. I'll put this one up on screen. It's a feature, not a bug. This past Tuesday was Patch Tuesday. I was looking at Tripwire, and the list is long. There were 13 CVEs for SQL alone, 5 for SharePoint, 2 for Azure Stack, 2 for Network Watcher, and 7 for Microsoft Streaming Service, and 7 for Windows Remote Desktop Licensing Service, 4 for network virtualization, and a bunch of others. And yes, some of them were very high on the critical list and things like that. So, yeah, go make sure you have looked at those and done your patching. And of course, while you're at it, go see what else you might need to patch besides all the Microsoft stuff. Do that regularly. Oh, and by the way, use patch management if you're not. I mean, I don't normally do plugs like that, but hello, please keep up on your security. We're halfway through September. Next month is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and we're going to be talking a lot about that. Each week has a different theme, so expect me to mention that a few times, and make sure your stuff is safe so you don't get taken by some of these exploits. Thank you, Kelly. I will put that up on the screen because, of course. There we go. And wait, what? I thought there was another comment, but I don't know what happened to it. Something about software management. I don't know where it went. Did I accidentally delete that? If I did, sorry. I didn't mean to. I was trying to put Kelly's on the screen, and I don't know if I accidentally deleted somebody's comment. Let's see. There was one other one. Where did it go? Something kind of cool, and yet I don't know. I mean, so a couple of astronauts took a spacewalk yesterday morning. I think it was yesterday morning. The Polaris Dawn mission actually had 2 private citizens venture on a spacewalk outside their Dragon spacecraft. And I guess the reason this is significant is because they weren't NASA folks. One was a SpaceX employee, and one was a billionaire. So we'll just skip that part. Eat the rich. I didn't say that. You didn't hear me. I didn't say that. It was a glitch in the Matrix. But what's interesting about that is that opens up all kinds of cool things for the future, and the future of because this was a new spacesuit, and I think this was a new type of rocket, or what was it? Spacecraft. That's what I'm trying to think of. A new spacecraft. So it opens up all kinds of new things and new ways of going to space for the future. So if you're a space nerd, that part's really cool. I won't get into the debate about people with lots of money being able to go up into space when the rest of us can't. I really want
Maybe
to.
we should leave him there. What?
I'm sorry, what? Did you hear that?
It's just there's so many glitches today.
I
I don't know
know
what
there's
this
like this
is.
ghost in the machine. I just
Just, mm,
don't know what's going on there.
just here pushing our own agenda.
But if you're a space nerd, go check that out, because it is kind of neat that some of those things are making progress. New spacesuits enable new things in the future. I love that, but it also like makes my anxiety, because there are too many movies out there about people getting lost on spacewalks. So,
I mean, there are 2 astronauts right now in the ISS who had to get left behind because the Boeing, what was it called? Starliner had to come back without them. So I am like, I have so much like low key secondhand anxiety for them that they're just out there in space hoping someone will come get them. Like that's the
yeah.
ultimate like, Mom, can you come pick me up call
Yeah, I think they're not going to be able to get them until early
next
next
year?
year. Yeah, I hope they have enough stuff to, you know, enough supplies.
I could never.
Haha, very funny, Brett. Yes, we know. We're being very tongue in cheek about all of this. So,
Well, if only that came directly to our pocket.
it keeps us employed. So, there can
Yeah,
be,
some of it gets to us.
yes.
Is it bad that like it says Series F at evaluation and I just read like a fat valuation? Oh,
I mean, yeah, especially when they go by places like the Whistle Stop Cafe, Kelly,
I don't
which
get
is
this
from,
reference.
well, yeah, I'm going to explain it because it was from a book and a movie. Um, oh, why is it? Now
Are
that
you
I
and Kelly
said,
like childhood best friends? What's going on?
and now, no, because now that yeah, the Whistle Stop Cafe. And oh my God, thank you, Kelly. Fried green tomatoes. As soon as I said it, it just whoop, went out of my brain. I won't spoil it for you, Urvashi. Go check out Fried Green Tomatoes and either the movie. The movie is fantastic, but there's also a book. Um, and once you watch that, add it to your, list of movies that you need to see, then you will understand that reference. Otherwise, I won't spoil it for you, but it will make sense.
Evelyn, an ordinary housewife, visits a nursing home and befriends the old lady Minnie. Together, they bond over stories from the past about two intrepid women of Whistle Stop Cafe. Okay, I like it.
And they make
Real funny.
barbecue. That's one of the dishes there
Oh,
besides fried green tomatoes.
I miss barbecue. Y'all, can I tell you, like, I used to feel sad about like Indian food that would be made in the US and how it wasn't as good. And now I'm the opposite because I've tried a bunch of different barbecue sauces in India and they're not even, no. Somebody ship me some barbecue sauce.
Might be able to find you some decent recipes.
Ah, I never even thought about that. Okay, I'll do that. Trying to make it from scratch.
Yeah, because that might work. There was a barbecue joint in San Diego that had like really good sauce, and I don't like vinegar based or mustard based sauces, so I have to look for certain types of sauces here in North Carolina. The other Kelly says, actually, we have three Kellys in here. So, Kelly 1, 2, 3. I do not want that barbecue. Yes, Julian, Phil's barbecue. See, Julian knows what I'm talking about. I used to live super close to Phil's barbecue. All I had to do was go over the hill and it was right there. So I could go for lunch easily. And when you'd go to the swap meet, which was like this little place where, companies and also anyone that wanted to get rid of stuff could go there. And it was next door. So while you're shopping, you could smell the barbecue while you
Mm,
were there at the swap meet. And it was very strategic.
well planned.
Hmm. Their pulled pork was awesome. And see, it's lunchtime and I don't have a place like that. So city barbecue it is, I guess. It's all right, but it's no fills. I know.
Googling recipes right now.
I know it's like 11, 10 o'clock.
10 p.m. my time.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. We are at time. Great to have you on again, both of you. And tell Rob that we enjoyed having him too. I know he had to drop early. And Kelly says that's dinner sorted here. I think you're right, Kelly. I could wait and do it at dinner when I have more time tonight. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Hope you get to do something fun. Looks like the rain has finally stopped here because it was pouring earlier. Uh,
Um,
Next week, I believe we are going to have some more fun. Um, I'll figure out what we're going to have later because I haven't put up the stuff yet, but we're going to have someone from our engineering team and going to have some great stuff around. Well, you'll be as surprised as I am. I know what it is. I just can't remember right now. So it'll be great. I will put that up. Actually, I'll get the new one up, episode 115, up a little bit later today. And
We all know it's going to be a screening of fried green tomatoes, isn't it?
actually, Amy Tebby's going to join us, so that'll be fun to have her on the show. I don't think she has been on before, so that'll be a nice treat. And I'm going to get Sergi on here at some point to talk more about the new Apple releases. Oh yeah, Kelly says, Isaac, thanks for coming today. Device info is super great. So yeah, we will see you all next week. Hope you have a lovely weekend. Urvashi, Isaac, come back
You
soon.
too.
Go invent something so you can, come back soon.
We may or may not be already brewing something. We'll keep you posted.
Intriguing. All right. Well, thank you
Thanks
all,
for having
and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.